What's good, everyone? It's Blackbeard What Ifs back with another video, and this one is going to be basically what if Deku was Kaido from One Piece? And yeah, that's literally about it. That's like the whole point right then and there. Now, I'm not gonna make him as strong immediately. Like, he's not gonna be that strong immediately, but he will be quite strong nonetheless. Because if I make him as strong as Kaido instantly, he's winning. He's beating all of My Hero Academia by himself. I'm sorry, y'all could fight me in the comments if y'all want. Y'all could fight me in real life if y'all want. But Kaido is whooping all of One Piece or not all of One Piece, all of My Hero Academia by himself. He is just a monster of a, well, that's it. He's just a monster. But like, yeah, that's basically about it. So, where should I start this off at? Oh, all right. So, where we start off is uh on the last day of middle school for Deku, or like, what was it called? Yeah, I think it was just, I can't remember its name, but we're just gonna say middle school because that's what it was. So, on the last day, everything's going as normal. They're doing their work and everything. Deku is in the back of the class, slouched down and everything. When the teacher walks in, it's like, okay, everyone, settle down, settle down. Today we're going to be doing your hero application test, or your work application test. As everyone in the class is just like, oh, come on, teach. As, the teacher gets a smile on his face and he's like, well, that's what I would say if I didn't know you all wanted to become heroes already. As he just throws as he just throws the papers into the air, causing the whole class to kind of uproar. Yeah, to have a huge uproar and happiness and whatnot. So, they're all like using their quirks and everything, which honestly is completely stupid if you ask me, but yeah. They're all using their quirks as the teacher, he picks up his paper and he's like, ah, I see I see one of you want to go to UA. Isn't that right, Katsuki Bakugo? As everyone else is like, oh my god, he's going to UA? Wow. I thought it was really hard to get in. As Bakugo, he puts his feet up on the desk and he's like, you're damn right, Teach. UA will be lucky to have me. Unlike the rest of you all who will get stuck with some busted D-lister or something. As the class is like, Bakugo, that wasn't nice. And like, they're all about to fight him. He's like, oh yeah, what about it? If you all have anything to say, you all can fight me right now. As no, he's popping explosions in his hand. As, teachers like, settle down, settle down. Oh, I see Izuku Midoriya wants to go. I see Izuku Midoriya wants to go to UA as well. As the class just goes silent. And then they just a huge uproar of laughter comes as they're just all laughing. They're like, you, the quirkless nerd, going to UA? Good luck, kid. I mean, you'll need it, seeing how you're not going anywhere, but yeah. Bye bye. Like, and basically after all that, class or teachers like, okay, students, calm down, calm down. It's all right. It's all right if he goes to UA or not. Just calm down. As he, or I'm so dumb. I keep forgetting some words. And after school, Deku's about to pack up his stuff and everything when Bakugo walks up to his table and throws a huge explosion on his table on Deku's desk, knocking him back onto the floor. As Bakugo's like, I thought I told you, you useless nerd. You're not gonna be a hero. How are you going to be a hero without a quirk? As you know, Izuku's like, I will be a hero, no matter what. As Bakugo's like, shut up, you useless Deku! And throws a huge explosion at him, launching him back into the wall and putting a scar on the side of his body. You all see where I'm going with this, right? But it puts a scar on his body, and after, after that happens, he's on the ground kind of holding his side in pain because it is bleeding from the explosion. So he's holding on to his side and he's like crying and groaning in pain. Bakugo and his lackeys are walking off. They're walking away, and while they're walking away, Bakugo says, "Oh, I think I have a good idea on how you can get a quirk, Deku." As Midoriya, he looks up like happy for once. As Bakugo gets a sinister smile on his face, and he just says, "Take a swan dive off the roof and pray for a quirk in your next life." Even though you just might end up quirkless in that life too. As him and his lackeys walk off laughing, leaving Deku just kind of sitting there, and he's like, I'll prove you wrong. I'll prove you all wrong. As he gets up, grabs his notebook, and he starts heading home. And while that's happening, or while he's heading home, he's walking and everything. He takes a shortcut and go under an underpass so he doesn't run into Bakugo and his lackeys. And as he's going through the underpass, he's about to make it through when all of a sudden he hears a rattling. He hears some type of, he hears rattling, and he turns around and he sees the manhole cover is like violently shaking. When all of a sudden it shoots clean off, or it shoots clean out of the ground as this big green sludge-like monster comes out and is like, I didn't think that freak would be in town. Whatever, you'll do just fine. As the monster rushes towards Deku and says, give me your body, kid. And, begins to wrap around him and suffocate him. And he's like, no, I can't die like this. Not like this. As he's fighting as much as he can, and he's pulling and pushing and doing everything he can to get out of there, but it's no use. And he's blacking out, and he's like, not like this. As he fully goes unconscious. And while that happens, as he's unconscious, before he fully blacks out, he's slowly going unconscious and he's closing his eyes, but as he closes his eyes, he hears, ha ha ha, no need to fear, because I am here. As, he's like, oh my, as he blacks out. And, well, we already know what's happening. We already know what happened. God damn it. They keep playing way too much music. We already know what happened in regular canon. All Might saves Deku and everything. No point in doing it if he's unconscious. God, why are they so... Ugh. But yeah, no point in doing it if Deku's unconscious, so yeah. So, Deku's waking up and everything, and he feels a light tapping on his face as he opens his eyes and he sees All Might, kind of lightly slapping him, and All Might's like, hey, kid, you okay? You need any help? And like he's just lightly slapping him. As he wakes up and he's like, All Might? As he's like, haha, yes, it is I, All Might. As, you know, Deku, he's frantically looking around. He's like, where's my notebook? As, he sees that it's already signed. He's like, thank you so much. This will be a cherished treasure passed down from generations. Thank you so much. As All Might's like, kid, calm down. It's just an autograph. But All Might's like, well, if that'll be all, I'll be on my way now. Stay safe, kid. As he's about to jump off, and Deku's like, wait a minute, I have something to ask you. And he's like, huh, what is it? As Deku, he's kind of tearing up, and he's like, even though I don't have a quirk, even though I'm powerless, can I still be a great hero like you? As All Might starts kind of chuckling a little. Because All Might in this one is going to be kind of a dickhead, not going to lie. He is not going to be a nice person in the slightest. And All Might is going to, he's going to start laughing. Or he's going to start laughing. As he's like, kid, you, quirkless, being powerful like me, good luck. You're better off just killing yourself and making it a whole lot better for us. With actual quirks. As he jumps off, leaving Deku just kind of sitting there. But instead of crying or anything, he's angry. He's like, I'll show you. I'll show all of you. I'll prove all of you wrong. As, as Deku runs off to his house and everything, he walks in, he sees Inko. She's like, oh, hi. Hi, sweetie, how you doing? As Deku, he's like, not right now, Mom. There's something I need to do first. There's something I need to do. And, he goes into his room. He packs some stuff, some food, water, clothing. And he's like, all right, Mom, I'll be gone for a while and I'm going to go train. I'll see you. I'll come back safely, I promise. As, she's like, but what if you get hurt? And he's like, trust me, Mom, I'll be fine, I promise. I'll come back home to you safely. As, he holds her hand with a smile on his face, and he's like, I promise you, I will come back in one piece. As he's like, as she's like, okay, alright. Well, have a safe trip, honey. As he smiles, and he's like, I will, Mom. As he walks through the door and leaves, and he's like, alright. Once he makes it down the block, and he's like, alright, now where can I go? As he looks around, he sees a mountain far off into the distance. He's like, I don't think anyone's ever went there. Well, I guess I'm going to be the first person. This will be a good training exercise. As he starts, full on sprinting to that place, to the, what's it called? To the mountain. Now, the mountain is 20 miles away, and he is sprinting for those 20 miles. So it's safe to say, by the time he makes it to the mountain, his lungs are screwed. They are, all types of broken. He is in a whole lot of pain because his chest hurts, his lungs are burning, and he's like, I gotta keep moving. And he starts running up the mountain. And eventually, he makes it, towards, the, not the base, but, the middle of the mountain. After him climbing up the mountain and everything, he makes it to this part where it's, the middle. And once he makes it halfway up the mountain, he sees a cave. And he decides to, take rest in the cave. He lays in there and everything. lays down. He's a little hungry. He sees a fruit, this weird looking fruit. And hold on, give me a second. Okay, I'm back. So, you know, Deku, he finds this, like, this blue, or not blue, this, like, green looking fruit. And he's like, whatever, I'm hungry. Maybe it's an apple or something. Or one of those things. And he takes a bite and immediately he spits down. And he's like, ugh, this is disgusting. What the heck is this? As immediately he just kind of passes out. They're like, yeah, he passed out. And when he wakes up, he sees this big hulking dude in front of him with this huge purple cape and these big horns. And he's like, who are you? As he's like, so you're the one who ate my fruit, my devil fruit. You look kind of weak. Whatever. I am Kakaju no Kaido. As, Deku, he's seen a whole lot of the stuff. Because the One Piece world and the My Hero Academia world are connected, but different, much further away. Like, not further away, but like, time-wise. The One Piece world came first, then after a while, then it was the, My Hero Academia universe. And a whole lot more land rose up. So, yeah, that's how there's more land and sea. But yeah, Kaido is kind of known. Well, not kind of. Like, there are books of the devil fruits and their users before they died. And Deku, he ended up reading one. So, when Kaido says his name, he's like, you're one of the Yonko. You were, like, one of the strongest people in that time, which was called the One Piece era. Because I feel like it. So Kaido's like, so you all still do know of all of us, huh? As he's like, yeah, but what did I just eat? As he's like, well, you ate a different version of my devil fruit. Because, kid, my devil fruit is called the Azure, I don't know how to pronounce it. Blue, alright, it's basically blue. The Azure dragon fruit. What you ate would be what we would call the emerald dragon fruit. And for some reason, it's a much bigger version of mine in terms of transformation. As he's like, alright, but I don't get it. Why am I still in here? As Kaido's like, well, kid, I'm going to be training you. You have 9 months, correct? Until your little exam or whatever. As he's like, yeah. He's like, good. All we'll need is like 3 months to train you. But first, we need to get you a weapon of sorts. So, yeah, by the end of these 3 months, if you can't pick up my weapon, then my devil fruit will fade from you. And you will be stuck quirkless. But if you can, you now have my power. Alright, kid? As he's like, alright. Now, over the 3 months that they spent training, Deku unlocked a whole load of stuff. He learned hockey from Kaido. He's not going to use it a whole lot because, Kaido is just a beast without it, so what's the point? So, he does have hockey to enhance his strength every now and then. And he also learned how to do his transformation into his dragon form and whatnot. Now, I'll show you what Deku looks like now, because he looks like a mix between this and this. Yeah. Deku looks like Broly, and the cape that Kaido had, is uh basically he wrapped it around his waist like Broly, but pretend instead of it being green, it's purple. So yeah. And what Deku turns into, as for his dragon form, is, well, this. Now, I want you all to tell me in the chat, where is this dragon from? Like, what universe? What universe is this dragon from? Because it's from an anime universe, and I think it's a pretty known dragon. You all should know it. So, type that in the comment in the comments of who this dragon is. Now, also, over time, Deku has learned a whole lot of stuff involving his powers, like how to shoot beams and whatnot, and how to go into the half form, like the half transformation form, which I can't find that thing for at the moment, but I'll be looking. So, and as for Deku's weapon, it's basically this. It's basically just a big club that he smacks people with zero hesitation. Now, after these 3 months, he's kind of floating in the air because screw you, I'll say he can do that because I feel like it. I mean, come on. If he can fly without wings, if him as a dragon can fly without wings, I think he can also fly like this. So, yeah, forget you guys. So, he's kind of floating a little, and he's looking at Kaido, and he's like, Master, is there anything else that we need to do? As Kaido has a kind of a smile on his face, and he's like, no, boy, this is the end of your training. You have fully perfected my devil fruit. So now it is yours to master, and I hope that you can teach it to a new generation. As he's kind of smiling but also crying at the same time, because he's like, but master, I don't want to lose you too. I've lost people in my life before. I can't lose you as well. Because I'll just say that Hisashi died protecting Deku. It was like in a plane accident, so all Hisashi could do was just like shield Deku's body with his own. So yeah. And he's like, please, I can't lose anyone else. Not again. As he gets a pat on the head from Kaido. As Kaido's like, kid, I believe in you. And I don't say this much, but I truly believe you can be something incredibly strong and powerful. You will be the best hero. Not the number one hero. You will be the number one hero all over the world. Heroes will be afraid of your name. So show them. Show them that my devil fruit is nothing to be joked with, is nothing to be messed with. As he gets a smile on his face and he's like, okay, see you later, father. As Kaido gets a surprised look on his face, but then he starts smiling and he's like, I'll see you later, my son. As he disappears. And hold on, I just got a good idea. Give me a second. Alright, I'm back again. Sorry for all these pauses and whatnot. But, after Kaido disappears, Deku, he grabs his club and everything, and he's like, I promise I'll never fail you. As he puts his club on his back and he walks out. He walks out from the cave. As he looks up, smiles, and just kind of stretches, and he's like, It's been a long time since I've left this cave. Time to go see what's happened over the months. As he just does a leap and jumps straight down from the middle of the mountain. And I'm saying it now, the middle of the mountain is about where the clouds are. So he essentially jumped from the clouds straight down into the city. As you know, he jumps down and he's just falling and falling and going. And he's not moving in the slightest. He's just kind of straight, just going down. As he falls smack dab in the center of the city. And, he gets up and I'm saying now, Deku is like, well, now he is the height of All Might. Like, he's just as tall as All Might. Well, no, he's like a little bit taller than All Might, but still taller. As he lands into the city, making a crater. Not a big one, but a crater the size of him, a human-sized crater. Which causes all the civilians, they're running towards to see what that is, as all of a sudden they just see a hand come out and smack onto the ground as he pulls himself up, and all they see is just this big hulking person, which is, well, Deku, or, yeah, Deku, this guy right here, this dude. And, as he's getting up and everything, they're like, call the heroes, and everything, as he's like, what, I'm not even doing anything, I just came here, what the heck. And while that's happening, what do you call it? So the closest hero, like, they call heroes and they're like, send the closest hero you can. There's this big person here and I think he's gonna start destroying stuff. As Deku is still just kind of sitting there like, what the heck? Alright. And he's like just staying there, waiting to see what's going to happen. As, you know, the closest hero comes to see or comes to fight whoever it is. And the closest hero there is, well, Murako. Because yes. And I think you all kind of see where I'm going with this. And I hope you do. As basically, as Murako, she comes around the corner and everything, and she sees Deku, and she's like, "You there? What are you doing here?" As he's like, "Nothing. I just came here. I was just trying to get some alcohol. That's it." As some of the people, just because they're scared, they're like, "No, you're not. You're probably trying to destroy this place." And he's like, "Why would I destroy this place? I live here. Why would I try to destroy this place?" And, the civilians are going back and forth with Deku, and eventually he's like, okay, I'm just gonna walk off now. As, Murako not really getting the situation. She still kind of thinks he's a villain. She's like, no, you don't. And she jumps up and she just says, Luna fall! And brings her leg down on his shoulder. To which it does nothing. As he grabs her by the leg and hoists her over his head. So she's upside down looking at him. And she's like, and not she, he's like, don't ever do that again. And when he says that, all she can see behind him is just the dragon. That's all she can see. And she's just like, okay, I'm not going to. As he's like, good, now. would you like to go get a drink with me? Because I have nothing else to do and I'm kind of bored. So, do you want to get a drink with me? As she's like, yeah, sure. And she, well, goes with Deku. And as they're walking, she's like looking up at him and she's like, dear God, he is huge. But also at the same time, God damn, he is hot. And like, while she's saying that, she is kind of turning a little red. And Deku's looking at her and he's like, is there an issue? And she's like, no issue at all. Nothing at all. And she starts, what do you call it? She starts um just kind of walking a little faster and he's like okay, and starts walking some more, and eventually they make it to the bar and everything, and she goes in and she asks for like, I don't know, some type of alcohol with a carrot in it, because why not? I don't know alcohol names, all right. As Deku, he walks up and he also doesn't know the name of Kaido's alcohol that he keeps drinking. So he just kind of puts a picture on the table and he's like, I'll take this to go, please. As the bartender, he's like, and he looks and he's like, are you sure about this? And he's like, yeah, why wouldn't I be? And he's like, okay, you're a funeral kid. And he walks into the back and he comes out with this like kind of big thing of alcohol, and he sets it in front of him. He's like, all right, well, here you go. You can come back to us for refills if you survive the first sip, that is. As, Deku, he's looking at him. He's like, all right, I don't know what you mean, but okay. As he picks up the drink, he takes a sip. He's like, this is really good. And, he keeps drinking until it's just completely empty. And he sits it on the table and he's like, man, that was really good. Hey, can I get more of this? Uh, sure. Yeah, I'll just go into the back and get you more. Thanks. As, Deku, he sits down. Mirko's looking at him and she's like, how the hell are you not dead after that? And she's like, and not she. I keep saying she. I'm so dumb. Deku's like, I have no idea what you mean. Because this is really good. And I love it deeply. As Murako's like, that is one of the most dangerous things of alcohol ever. No one's ever taken a sip and lived to tell the tale. And then you just drunk a whole barrel full of it like it's alright. And then just set it down. Is that your quirk or something? And he's like, no. No, my quirk is complicated, to say the least. She's like, what? Whatever. You can explain it to me later. As she she slides her number over to him and she's like, all right, well, I'll catch you later, kid. See ya. As she leaves the bar and everything to go do some more hero work because she got kind of like a margarita almost. So no, little cup of alcohol, but with a carrot in it. And she goes back to do hero work. As they come out with another thing of alcohol, but in that same little bottle that Kaido drinks out of. So it's in that bottle, and once that happens, or once they bring out the alcohol, they're like, all right, well, here, I mean, we can't drink it, so it's not like we can charge you for it. Like other people are gonna need it, so take as much as you like. And he's like, all right, cool, I'll keep coming back. So, what's your name? Deku asked the bartender. He's like, so, what's your name? As the bartender is like, oh, I'm also the cook here, but my friend like to call me Sanji, as he's like, oh, well, nice to meet you, Sanji. You can call me Izuku Midoriya, but my friends, they call me Kaido, as he walks off, and he starts heading home. And once he makes it home, he knocks on the door and everything. As Inka opens the door, she's like, "Yes, who is it?" She's looking up and to see this big dude, and he's like, "Uh, hey, mom," and does that same iconic Izuku smile, which has her tearing up, and she's like, "Izuku, my baby," and like she just wraps her arms around him and everything, and like she's sobbing, and she's like, "Where have you been?" And he's like, "I've been training, as you can see. I've gotten a lot stronger." As she's like, "What is that on your back?" And he's like, "Well, this is my weapon. It's something I'm going to use when I activate my quirk." And she's like, "Wait, you have a quirk?" She's like, as Deku, he's like, "Yeah, I do." And, you know, Inko, she's smiling and crying even more. And she's like, "My baby has a quirk. Yes." And, like, she's jumping around. She's happy and everything. And he's like, "Okay, okay, mom, calm down, calm down." So, wanna go inside and chat? As she's like, "Yeah, yeah, come on, let's go." As now they go inside, and she's like, "Well, I'll make your favorite food, seeing how I didn't know you were coming." As he's like, "What, you're making katsudon? Let's go!" And straight over toward he runs straight for the table, and he sits down and everything, and breaks the table. Or not breaks the table, he breaks the chair that he sat on, because, he's kind of a big dude, sitting on this small chair that's made for a regular person. So, she, so Inko, she's kind of laughing a little, and she's like, "Hold on, let me go get something from the garage." As she goes into the garage and comes out with a bigger chair, which is more made for him. And as she sets it down using her telekinesis, because I'll just say it's a little bit stronger, so she can lift up sort of heavy things, but not like lift up big boulders or like houses or whatnot. Nah, it is literally just that. It's just she can lift up slightly heavy objects. If she really tries her hardest, she could lift up a car, but she can't do much with it. It's not like she can shoot it with or anything. So yeah. So she comes in with the chair and she sits it down, and Deku sits down in the chair, and he's eating katsudon with her, and that's kind of what happens for that. And now we're gonna go skip to the entrance exam. So as he's walking in, he's like, "All right, of my this is the start of me being a hero." As he walks in, and instead of tripping, he just kind of like does the normal thing. He walks, like he doesn't trip, because gods don't do that. Like, come on, it's Kaido. You really think this man finna trip? Nah. But he walks his way in. He goes to the first part of the exam, and President Mike's there, and he's like, "Hello, everybody. Is everyone ready to take their test?" Silence. As he's like, "Dang, tough crowd." As he's like, "I can't hear you." I said, "Is everyone ready to take their test?" And Deku, kind of liking President Mike, not a lot, but still kind of liking him, he just says, "Yes, I am." As no, Mike gets kind of a happy look on his face, and he's like, "Thanks, little listener." As he's like, all right, everyone. So come get your test so you can do it. Or like, I can't remember what he said for the entrance exam, but yeah. And everyone walks in. He does the test and everything. Deku got like, he got like I'll say an 85%, because he's smart, but not like Einstein level smart or anything. But he is smart nonetheless. And you know, after he does that, he walks in, he gives his test and everything, and then he walks to the other half of the exam. And once he makes it in, uh, President Mike starts talking about the pointer, the robots, as he's about to talk about the zero pointer when a random blue-haired man with glasses stands up and says, "I'm sorry, but it seems you all may have forgotten something, like this bigger robot here in the pamphlet. If you all forgotten about that, then that really says a lot about UA's, uh, I can't remember what the hell he said, but it says a lot about UA." As he turns and he's like, "And you, sir, you should not have a weapon in here. What type of hero, he's like, what type of hero are you if you can't even follow the rules?" As Deku, he stands up and he said, "I'm sorry. I didn't quite hear you the first time. Can you repeat that?" And remember, like I said, he's taller than All Might. So yeah, he's just this big dude. As he's like, or as Ida, he's like, uh, no. And she's like, good, because I already registered my weapon up, meaning I can use this if I want to. And you can't say anything about it. So shut up. And besides, President Mike was about to say what the robot was if you would just be quiet. As as President Mike is like, "Thank you, little listener." And President Mike goes on to explain the zero pointer. And he's like, "Yeah, this robot's basically worth nothing, so there's no point in really there's no point in you actually doing anything, so you're better off running away from it." As Deku is like getting ready, he's like, doing stretches and whatnot, and he's getting ready to do the exam. As uh as basically President Mike, he's like, "All right, is everyone ready?" As no, they all get in a stance as the door begins to open, and immediately Deku just blitzes through. Like he runs straight through. As everyone's like, "Hey, hold on, he's cheating." As as once that happens, or like once he runs through, they're like, "Hey, hold up, he's cheating." As they're like, as President Mike, he says, "There's no countdown in a real battle. Go, 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 go!" As they're like, "Oh, we're down. We should have actually thought about that." And like they're running and everything. And by the time they make it in there, Deku has already like cleaned out a good portion of the robots, because like he'll just grab his mace, or his combo, or however that you pronounce it, and he'll enhance it with Haki, causing it to turn black, and then he'll just swing it and just slam like 7 robots at once. And like he's just demolishing them and everything. As uh as we go to Nezu, who's watching, who's that voice crack. We go to Nezu, who's watching, and Nezu is like, "So, do any of you do any of these future heroes pique your interest?" As uh what's his name? As Endeavor's like, they all look weak, unlike my Shoto. And uh you know, Zawa's like, "I don't really see potential in them." And heads up, Bakugo has one for all, but I mean, like, he's gonna need it if he wants to even do anything to Deku. I mean, it's not gonna do much except like push him back a little, but yeah. But no, they're looking around. They're like, all right, so does anyone pique your interest? As Murako, she looks and she's like, him, that one with the green hair, well, black hair with green tips, I guess. And no, they zoom in and they're like, ah, Izuku Midoriya, yeah. As she's like, yeah, I believe he's gonna be the top one. Put up his points. As no, they put up his points and they're like, holy crap, he got 300 points. That's more than All Might. And it just started. As they're like, well, let's see what his quirk is. As they see him use hockey on his weapon and slam it onto the ground, causing uh causing like an earthquake of sorts to happen, which destroys all the robots. Because like a crack opens and the robots fall into them. And they're like, maybe his quirk has to do with that stuff on his weapon. As she's like, no, I don't think that's it. Let's just wait. As next she's like, let's see how he'll fare against against this. As he presses a red button, as all of a sudden Deku he like full on just suplexes a robot, and he's like, whew, this is actually pretty fun. I can get the hang of this. As all of a sudden he hears, or like he feels rumbling, and he looks around and he looks up, and eventually he sees like this big robot. He sees everyone running from it, and he's about to run from him too. He's like, I'm not in the mood to fight that. As all of a sudden he hears someone like, help, I need help, please, someone, anyone. As he turns and he sees this brunette kind of reaching out for help, even though there's something stuck on her legs. And he's like, oh crap, whatever, let's do this. As he starts running towards the 0-pointer, and she's like, yes, thank you. As he pulls out his weapon and he swings against the rock that's on her, and he hits the rock, knocking it back. And once he hits it, he puts his weapon back on his shoulders, and he starts running towards the 0-pointer, and everyone's like, what is he doing? He's gonna die. As he's like, all right, let's do this. As he starts charging up and transforming, and then he's like, rah! And then he just like full on transforms into the dragon. Like the sky starts getting dark, lightning starts striking, as all of a sudden they just see this big green dragon wrap around the 0-pointer. As the head is looking down at the 0-pointer, as he opens his mouth and he charges up a blast and just shoots it straight into the 0-pointer, which causes it to explode. And after that, like he goes back down to the ground and he transforms back, and he's like, "Whew, that was fun." All right, as he walks over to the girl, and he's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, that was so cool." And he's like, "Thanks." Well, I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya. As he as he goes he goes home and everything. And that's actually where I'm gonna leave it off for now. I'm probably gonna do like three, or not three, but like two more after this one, like two more videos. So yeah, be ready, because that's what I'm finna be doing, guys. So yeah, that's about all I had to. That's about everything I had to say. If you all want any, if you all not if you all want anything, if you all have any ideas for me, put it in the comment section, because most of the time I'm lonely, so I'll be paying attention to the comments. And with that out of the way, this is Blackbeard Whatevs signing off. See you all later.